Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. And so, we're going to go ahead and start chapter 2 now. So, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to open up Android Studio. And the reason I'm opening it up is because it's going to open our most recent project. And so, in order to get out of that and create a new project, I'm going to show you how to do that. So, it's loading this, loading modules. You really don't want to mess with it too much. Like, I didn't hit cancel because I didn't want to do that. While that's loading, I'm going to go back to my desktop, open this bootcamp folder I made. In here, I'm going to make a new folder, and we're just going to call it chapter 2. Okay. And in this chapter 2 folder, we're going to make another folder, and we're going to call it case 2.1. Okay. So, close tip. We're going to go to file, close project. Okay. So now we have a new project. Well, we have Android Studio open. So we're going to start a new project, empty project. And we're going to call it what the book wants. So we're going to call it Youth Hostel App. Make sure that's in the right spot. Chapter 2, case 1.2.1, open. Don't mess with anything else. Finish. So it's loading the project. I'm go ahead and expand Android Studio.
One thing I didn't like is how white it is. It's too bright. So I'm going to go preferences, appearance. Hopefully it's this one. Yeah, theme. I'm going to go ahead and do Docula. And it's going to make everything black so it's not bright.
And then we're going to go ahead and do our comments. We're going to do end main activity, and then end on create. Going to go here. I'm going to save it real quick because Android Studio is a little weird. We're going to select our Pixel 2. We're going to open the layout. Zoom in for y'all. We're going to delete hello world. And then we're going to, first thing we're going to do is open up strings. Open the editor. Okay. So we're going to add a string. And we're going to call this one text title. Dingo Moon Hostel. Okay. And we're also going to have an image. So we're going to have img and then hostel and then image of hostel. And you'll see why I'm saying this right now. I mean, why I'm typing it out. And then we're also going to have a button. So button info and then hostel information. Okay. So we're done with our strings. We're going to close this. I guess we'll keep that open because last time things went bananas. Okay. First thing we're going to do is add the title. So center it. Text, title, enter. I like to set the constraints. And in class, because we did this on the computers on campus, and after we all did this part, and then we went ahead and added the text, Android Studio would freeze. So we learned to save it at this point. I'm doing a shortcut, but I'll show it. I'm doing Command S. So we would save it, and then we're gonna add the title. So text title, there you go. Okay, there's a text title, and we're just gonna do 36. Now we're gonna set it pretty up high in the screen. So do 500. That's a good spot. Now we need an image, and the book says there's a place to download these images. I don't know where. I'm kind of probably a bad person for not researching that ahead of time. But for now, let's go ahead and just open up your Safari. And then we're just going to Google Hostel Youth. Hope we don't get any weird images. And with Android Studio, it's preferred that you use a .png file. Okay, so we'll get this one. We're going to save it. Save image as Hostel, G all caps. And then we're going to open up, we're going to save it in our little folder. So desktop, Android Bootcamp, chapter 2, case 2.1, save, close Google, open up our app, our folder directory. In the Hostel, it's a JPEG. Now we could use it, if I remember correctly, we could use it, but I think it's best that we just we export it to a PNG. Let me open it. That balls. Okay, so I'm gonna open it. File. See whatever it does. Okay, no. Export. Format. PNG. Hostel. Okay, we'll just do desktop for now, and then we could drag it. So I'm gonna delete this boy. Okay, and I'm just gonna drag this boy in here. So he's in here now, the PNG file. So now that we're here, we're gonna go to drawable, and then right click it. And we're just gonna, oh wait, before we do that, let's go ahead and copy the image. So Command C, and then Command V, and then I always pick the top one. So we're gonna hit OK. Also that image, it shouldn't be caps, it should be lowercase. If you do uppercase, Android Studio is gonna freak out. So we're gonna hit OK. Sweet. You can go ahead and close this folder. Okay, so now we're gonna go to image view. Drag the image on the screen, center it, project, Hostel, OK. And then we're just going to do image, Hostel. Go ahead and do the constraints. I like it when it does this part for you. Oh, didn't do it this time. Okay, layout width and height. We're gonna select these little things. So the first one is width, so we're gonna do width first. Hit OK. And then we're gonna do height. Hit OK. Go ahead and stretch this bad boy. Set you up 200. That's good. Okay, so we have that Eagle Moon Hostel. We're not going to worry about what it says. Okay, so now we're going to add a button. So we grab a button right here. We do BNT info, the constraints again. So it says button here. I'm going to change that to button info, hostel information. Okay, and there you go. We could go ahead and change the size to 24. Sweet. We'll just keep that there. Let's go ahead and save it, and let's just load this first screen because we're going to make another screen. So we're going to run app. Pixel 2, okay. So we have the first screen, Dingo Moon Hostel, we have an image. This button doesn't do anything. So what we could go ahead and do is just swipe up.
Okay, so just go ahead and just swipe up that keyboard on your regular phone, just to remove it from the cache. Yeah. 16 gigabytes might be a little slow. Okay, close that. Okay, there you go.
We're going to go ahead and close the machine. Save in state, so it's going to have an empty state pretty much. No apps open at the time. Okay, so we're here. Now we're going to go back to main activity. Go ahead and just type some Java code. So we're going to instantiate a button. So we're going to type in button, which is where Android already has button. Yeah. It's kind of weird if you don't know Java. If you do know Java, pretty much this is the button class. I just imported the button class, and we're going to call this button info button just so it's not confusing, equals new button, and oh my bad, I'm confused. Android Studio is different. So we're going to do equals button, and then we're going to do put in parentheses, and then we're going to find by ID. So then we do r.id dot button info, and then semicolon. So once we have that, now we're going to do info button dot, and Android Studio kind of will see what you're trying to do, and it'll help you out. So we're going to set an on click listener, my bad. There we go, right here. And then go ahead and do that. Enter. Boom. You know what? Forgot something. And then we're going to do new view on click listener. There we go. So I like how it imports automatically for you. And if it's not importing automatically for you, what you would do is that you go to button, highlight it, and then do Alt Enter if it's not loading it for you like it is for me. So I'm going to go ahead and end on click just so you don't get confused with what's going on, and then end set on click. Now if you have more buttons, I would do would be info button dot set on click, just so you don't get confused. Okay, now in here what we're going to do is do start activity, intent, and then in here we're going to do new intent, another parentheses, good. Then we're going to do main activity, which is this activity that we're on, dot this, because this is the activity we're on, comma, we'll just do Hostel dot class. And right now it's kind of like there's nothing like that here. Let's go ahead and save right here to this .com youth Hostel app. I don't know if you see my mouse. We're gonna right click it. We're gonna do new activity, empty activity, and we're gonna call this Hostel. Hopefully it's in there. Check everything. Right. Finished. Okay. So now it's loading a new activity. So we have activity main XML, activity.java, activity Hostel XML. So let me see if it go ahead and got that. See how it's not red again? That's because we added it. And this is the second screen. So in the second screen, we're going to have 3 strings. We're going to have the name of the hotel, the hostel, the address, and a cost. So we're going to go back to res, values, strings, open editor. And we're going to add those strings. So we're going to add hostel, so text, hostel, name, and then we're just going to call it Dinjo Moon Hostel, and hit OK. We're going to have another string, and that's going to be the address, so text address. And what I'm doing is camel casing. So we have the first letter of the word text is lowercase, and the next word, because we can't do spaces, is uppercase. And we're going to do the address, so 888 Kangaroo Lane, Darwin, Australia. That's in the book. I didn't do this. We're going to hit OK. And then the final one is just going to be text cost. And then we're going to have cost range. Oh, it's in all caps. I mean uppercase. 18 to, so I did do space. 22. Whoopsies. 22 midnight. Okay. Go ahead and close the editor. Strings, we have our strings. hostel.java here. Go ahead and end hostel. Activity. Whoopsies. Okay, and then end on create. Okay, we're not going to do anything here, but here we're going to have the title. We're also going to have the address in the middle. And I'm hoping I'm not cheating myself out in the cost by doing these ahead of time, because you know they all have constraints. So text name, right? That's why I named it. Text hostel name. Text hostel name. Enter. Then we have text address. Enter. And then we have text cost. Text cost. Okay, so let's go ahead and set these constraints. And we placed it. So I'm going to go ahead and just do 200. Okay. You may want to save it. I just saved it right now. And then go here, hostel name. Okay. Go ahead and make that size 24. We need 30. Okay, and then the second one, text address. Go ahead and add the constraints. See how it kind of like drags it on its own? Kind of weird. Text 200. And then we'll just do text view. Boom. Ah, man. This was address, text address. Okay. We'll go ahead and make that 24. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking the book had it. Where's text address at? Let me see if it does enter. No, it doesn't. I'm going to give it some spaces. Close it. So because I want that Darwin, Australia in the bottom. I didn't do it. Well, okay. So if you want it like at the bottom, it would be a different string. And then here we have text cost. Go ahead and just turn this on real quick. 0, 0, 0, 0. I'm going to raise it a bit. Okay. And then wait for that slider to disappear. Text cost, there we go, enter. And reduce size 24. There you go. Go ahead and save the app. Go ahead and run the app. Go hit that play button here. Okay. Okay, so typically with Android Studio, it looks like it may work. And if it doesn't work, we might have to run it again. So we're going to hit hostel information. See how it's not working? It's because it's not. Oh, it is working. Okay. Sometimes it doesn't work because it's not synced, so you have to run the app again. But yeah, so I hit the back button. The user opens our app, and then they open it. They have the text title. They have a picture of it. We hit hostel information, and it opens the second screen, which is the name of it, the address, and the cost range. Hope you guys liked the video. If you liked it, like it, subscribe, leave comments on how I can improve the video, the content, leave questions, concerns, and I'll kind of tailor the videos as we go. So thank you so much, and I hope you come back.